Welcome, Gary. We are so excited to have you here today, and it's my honor and privilege to be speaking with some people that live daily with Parkinson's. And I do want to say at the beginning that not everyone's experience with Parkinson's disease is the same. It's varied from individual to individual. And so thank you for your time in answering these questions that'll be so helpful to many, many, many people. So, our first question is, since your Parkinson's diagnosis, how has your life been affected?
Initially, when it happened, it was very dramatic. I
Mm,
uh, I didn't realize I had it until I tried to get up off a chair. I couldn't stand up. Walking maybe was very difficult, and I was just very slow. Maybe the best way I could give you an example of my getting off the chair is a few years ago, my granddaughter, she had a confirmation, and after the confirmation, uh, we had a little get together at a restaurant. At that restaurant, when I got together, we arrived early, and I have a habit of wanting to find a place to sit right away because I couldn't stand or walk. So I sat at the table, and as always, I was sitting in the wrong spot. So they thought it was a good idea for me to move, and I couldn't get up. And
oh,
so my son and a friend of his says, "We'll take care of it," and they picked me up in the chair and moved me to a different spot where I could be comfortable for the balance of the evening. And so that impact, you could see it how you makes it very difficult to maneuver. And then I wasn't going out anywhere. I was probably staying at home. So it's had a dramatic impact.
wow. Wow. And it must be really a huge challenge to have to like watch your son and his friend pick up the chair to move you. I'm sure that was very painful for you.
And I didn't realize, it might sound kind of funny, but I didn't think I was that bad
Right.
until they asked me to move. And it was just politely so we could maneuver the people where good place to sit. And when they moved me like that, it kind of hit me then that something's wrong.
Yeah.
And I've been
Yeah.
going through some things like that before. I've been small handwriting. Uh, I hadn't fallen yet, but the stable you lean on the wall. Just different things. Like I didn't ride my bike like I used to.
Yeah.
I just wasn't normal, and I didn't realize I was putting more pressure on my wife.
Yes. Yes. Well, so it sounds like you were physically active before your diagnosis. You said your bike.
Well, I was very active because I in my job I traveled a lot, and
Oh,
I went through Atlanta many times.
I'm in
From
Atlanta, and
I know,
traffic in Atlanta is hard to maneuver.
yeah, but in the airport going from Concourse B to Concourse D,
Yeah.
I never took the tram. I always walked.
Wow.
And when I didn't travel, like I say, I traveled quite a bit. I would I would work out in the morning. I'd get up at 6 o'clock, go work out at Vic Tanny's, and then work and then take a shower and then go to work. So I was very active and I coached. I was a hockey coach, and then
Wow.
uh, I coached during the summer league, softball, baseball teams and that when my kids played. So I consider myself pretty active.
Absolutely. That because living in Atlanta and going through Hartsfield Airport, if you walk from Concourse B to D, that's a lot of
Yeah,
walking.
and I didn't take the tram. I mean, if I had time. I mean,
Yeah, right.
sometimes you didn't have time between. But the majority of the time, I always allowed myself enough time to get
Yes.
through. And same thing with Dallas,
Yeah.
Orlando airports.
Yeah.
There's a lot of walking.
Yeah. A lot. Well, what is your exercise routine now?
Well, when I get up in the morning, I exercise.
Mhm.
Uh, I exercise before I go to bed at night. And then I have a bike, one that you put under a desk. I put it in our one room, and I ride that for about an hour. And I've kept a log since I've done it. I just put the time, the day, and the time that I did it. And normally it's for an hour, and there's a few of them that didn't go an hour, but I've got 268 entries.
Wow.
So I've done that. Now sometimes I do 7 days a week, and it's just a reminder of me to get off my butt to do something instead
Yes.
of hanging around
Yes.
because
Yes.
I know I got to move.
Exactly.
So I log. The logging is more self satisfaction that it reminds me to do what I'm supposed to do, and then
Yes.
and I'm taking in these classes here have been very helpful with
Yes.
Tammy. Matter of fact, I've taken the one class with her, and since that time, I've taken another one that I do at weekly. Just moving.
Yes.
That's a good class too.
Yes, and I love that you track it, or that you track your little cycling under the desk, because in that motivation to keep going, when you look at that and say, "Wow, I've done a lot. I can keep doing this."
Well, it gives me a self satisfaction that I'm doing it. Because if I didn't do that, I would get upset with myself because of not being able to know what's going on. And there's sometimes it's later in the evening. I remember I haven't done a whole lot of stuff, so I'll get on that. So at least I get an hour. There's times I've done 2 hours because there's a good sporting event on. I'll watch
Yeah.
I'll watch a sporting event.
And so I mean, I love that. I'm going to try to encourage some of my clients to do, I don't work with specifically with Parkinson's clients, but I'm going to encourage my clients that I work with to do that. Instead of just sitting there watching a sporting event, you're doing something.
And it's mobile because we went to visit our daughter in North Carolina. Well, we had a trip. We visited one child in Michigan, the other one in North Carolina, so I can take it with me.
Yeah,
And then I use that when I went to visit their home when they're sitting there and I wasn't really doing anything, so I could use the bike then.
that is a terrific idea. Um, how has being part of a Parkinson specific program like you're doing with Tammy made a difference for you? Being part of that program, how has it made a difference?
Well, I golf now. I mean, I golfed before, but I golf now, and I walk. I
Oh,
and the other thing is, my neighbors are very good. They'll come over and pick me up, and I'll ride with them. But I could get in and out of the cart, which is not an issue.
right.
Unlike the chair issue, that I don't want to say it's no longer an issue, but it's very seldom it creates a problem,
Wow.
which makes a big deal. And this things of stretching, and it's the class helps me to I'm doing the right things, and I
Yeah.
know it's not a waste of time
Yeah.
because a lot of times if you do something, and I've done some exercises and done stuff on my own, and I'm not sure I'm doing what's right.
Exactly.
If you don't know, are you getting benefit out of what you're doing? In
Mhm.
these classes, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm getting plenty benefit.
That's amazing. That's amazing, and I know that Tammy's been using the body weight bars in some of the classes. What benefits have you seen from using those body weight bars in your class?
Well, the couple things I've seen when I first used it, extending my body, I wasn't doing much of it, and now I can extend. So I notice my strides are longer, my strength, and I'm getting up and down and off the floor because it gives me confidence
Wow.
to do that because I didn't do that before. I uh, I was afraid to fall because I was cautious because I didn't know how to get up, but
Yeah,
now I got the strength because we could stretch with that bar, use our muscles, which made a big difference.
that's huge. That is really huge to be able to get up off the floor,
Oh
and
yeah.
it really, really is. That's amazing, and you've worked hard at it, and I'm just so impressed. And I have just one more question for you. What advice would you give a fitness professional, like a personal trainer, group fitness instructor, who wanted to start a Parkinson's program, um, or training someone one on one with Parkinson's? What advice would you give to them?
I think, first of all, they should contact an individual who is currently teaching the program so they get exposure and understand what's important, what's not important, what they should emphasize and not emphasize. I think would be and then I think it'd be important to talk to people who have Parkinson's. What are they
Absolutely.
when they take the class? What are they looking for? What do they want? What are they trying to get out of the program? And the importance of being consistent, of showing up and doing it.
Yes.
Because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Absolutely. That is so true. Well, Gary, this has been an amazing, just short conversation with you. I'm hoping that it gives our fitness professionals more of an idea of what it's like to live with Parkinson's. So, thank you so much for taking your time and sharing your information with us. It'll help so many people.
Thank you, and I wish you the best at spreading the gospel, I guess to say, with this program.
That's amazing, Gary. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.